Hey, Built from Scratch Machine Shop here. We're having a little bit of a build day today. I've been kind of down with the summer cold, so sorry if the voice is a little bit scratchy. But this is my son who is studying to be a machinist. Generally, with machining, we talk about subtractive manufacturing. So, manufacturing where you are taking material away. However, one of the great things is the modern trend for additive manufacturing, so adding material to make parts. So he's decided to add a little bit of additive manufacturing to his background so that he has a little bit better sense of basically CNC computer code and the rapid prototyping capabilities that you can have for a 3D printer. Allows you to make a part that you can hold in your hand much quicker than you can go out and figure out. Well, I mean, some parts you can machine quicker, but this gives you a chance to be able to set a machine to go and just produce that part that you can look at later and analyze some of those features using a material that is often cheaper than the raw material that you'll be working with. So he just had his machine shipped in here. And it's going to be going through a bit of the build process on this, and that's what he's going to work on today. One of the things I'm going to tap him for is building some of my fixturing for some of the parts that we're making, because it's going to go a lot easier if we can have a fixture that is just automatically fits our part, something I don't have to machine as we're working to try to get funding for a mill. But right now, this is where we're going to start, and still sticking to the mantra. This is not something where I am adding to the income. This is his choice. This is his part of our garage shop project, is to come out and do a 3D printer. All right, so let's talk a little bit about kind of why I'm seeing that my son adding a 3D printer to our Built from Scratch Machine Shop project is a great idea. So I mentioned this in a previous video. These right here are my Rainy pixel clips. So this was how I attached these computer-controlled LED pixels onto 1/4 by 1/2 inch bar stock. This was a process that I showed the print the last time we were here, where we actually I came up with an idea of how to put these lights onto basically other things. The idea really kind of stems from regular Christmas light clips. So those are designed to put mini Christmas lights onto a 1/4 inch round bar stock. So this is a 1/4 inch round bar stock, and it takes just the mini Christmas lights that you put around your house or you put on your tree. They go on here, and these clip on. So they just clip on like that. And then they hold those lights lined up with that 1/4 inch bar stock. So my idea was to put it on something. I used a square, or excuse me, a rectangular bar stock, because I didn't want it to spin around. I wanted them to stay in the orientation that I wanted, because these, I can hold this bar stock still and I can rotate these these clips. So I wanted it to stay steady. Early on in the process, this was the design for the clip. This is what I called the 5 clip. Before I had all the extra features on it. In a way, I really wish I hadn't added all those extra features. I mean, they were great because it also has a 1/4 inch bar stock clip. So you can put that on there, but you've got the extra features that it doesn't really need anymore. So I do want to go back to this style clip, back to what I called the 5 clip. But I learned a lot with designing with 3D printed models. So getting a clip made at a machine shop where they're actually going to machine it for you. But a machine shop can mill one of these or cut one of these out of this material. This is HDPE. And they can get it where it's pretty close, pretty accurate. And you can see how this moves and flexes, which is a really good thing if it's out of the actual material. There, hopefully a little extra light makes that a little bit easier to see. But anyway, if you're going to test a part, it's probably best that you use the actual material that you're going to have injection molded. So this was a hard lesson that I learned. I had clients that were asking, well, I want the pixels straight on towards my viewer. I don't want them aligned where they're seeing the side of it. I want them to see the front of it. And I was like, well, fine. Here, I'll just design this clip. And I designed it with these two legs on it. You can kind of see that there. The legs are separated. So we designed it with the 3D printer. We printed up some clips. I put it on things. And I think these is printed out of PLA. And I was like, great. They work great. It fits on my bar stock great. This is going to work. So I had them printed up. Well, lo and behold, one of the things I didn't realize, because I was still new in this, is that 3D printed and injection molded, when you're dealing with different materials, you're going to get movement and flexes in locations that you may not expect. This PTFE, or not PTFE, this PLA is a lot stiffer than the HDPE here, the high density polyethylene that I used in here. And so when I had this mold made for these, and molds aren't cheap, it reacted in a way I didn't expect. So when you push this in and that puts that out, it actually flexes these two back legs in, and it was making the clips slide like really easy, which was a huge lesson for me to learn, but it also made it kind of hard because I was working with a business partner. I had designed this for somebody else. And I kind of panicked because the molds, had this been an American mold, it would have been 20 grand for the mold. Luckily, this is one out of China, so it was a couple $1,000s. And I did come up with a fix, which was basically to add a feature across the back, just like that, just a back support. You can see how this one now has that support in the back. And that kept those legs from moving in towards one another. So it was something I learned very quickly, that though 3D printing is great to get a functionality idea, don't count on it for telling you everything about how this material is going to react like that material, because they're going to be completely different. So 3D printing is great for like form and some function, but understand that when you get into the actual material like this, which is HDPE, the PLA, they are completely different. So that was a learning lesson to me. But I do appreciate a 3D printer coming into the shop, and we'll start working on that as time goes on. And I'll show you how we're going to integrate that in as far as machining fixtures and clamps and things like that, which is really great for manufacturing. So there you go. There's some ads and some changes to the garage machine shop that we're trying to do. And this was something that was on my son's list to do. So I am all in favor of him doing that. I've been continuing to work on our space out here in the garage shop. Been a lot of reorganizing. Garages are garages. They're places where things go to get stored, even though sometimes we'd like them to be a workspace. I've even got my computer out here. Finally got that space set up for that. So we're going to have kind of some basic stations, and we'll be doing some CAD work here. My son has been taking CAD courses as far as a part of his machine shop training, or his machining training. So he'll be working on that. I took CAD lessons when I was trying to teach that this last fall in some of my shop classes with my students. So that'll be appearing, and then also this is simultaneously used for my Christmas lighting hobby, which we'll get into that later. Let's see. Other news. I am currently in the interview process for a local company to be a machine operator there. I'm not going to give too many details to that because that process tomorrow is the second round of interviews. So hopefully that goes well. It'd be good to get back into a machine shop. I've been out for about 8 years So it'll be good to get back into that and refresh that skill set. But other than that, we're working hard. We're trying to add stuff. Been down for about a week with this nice summer cold, but going to hit it real strong again this week. So anyway, hope you enjoyed a little bit of an update of equipment that's coming in, and we'll get some test prints going. And of course, those of you that 3D print, there's obviously going to be a Benchy. And then after that, we've got some parts that we're going to prototype and figure out what we're going to do with those. But anyway, I hope you're learning something. I hope you're enjoying Built from Scratch Machine Shop. Out.